Good Monday morning, everyone. If everything is going like I had planned it to, then you guys will be seeing this on Monday. Hopefully it works out that way. And if that's the case, then you have already seen this sign completed, it's done and everything. But I want to film the whole carving of this thing so you guys can see it. Hopefully it'll all be on today's video, carving and finishing and everything. So there is my sign. Now what I'm going to do on this first scene is, and I had mentioned this on the video the other day, these little words, you were mine and my, I really don't like them very much, so I'm going to relay those out. I'm going to come back and sand those off, and then I'm going to relay those out with my little layout letters. You can do it any number of different ways, but that's the way I'm going to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and refocus the camera. Oh, the reason I'm doing it this way is Vicky has got tons of stuff to do, so I'm doing all the filming on this particular, at least to begin with on this, I'm doing it myself. So I've got to refocus the camera and get it down on the board so you guys can see my, my layout and my carving. So hopefully this works, so have patience with me. I'm doing my best. Thanks guys, be right back. Okay, so what I want to do here is I'm just going to take my little micro zip sander, and you know, these are, we've showed these before, the little Velcro. These things are so cool. I'm just going to actually sand off the current layout that I've got there, so that I can put my little layout letters on there, mask it off, and spray it, and get it looking the way I want to. So that's all I'm going to do. That's probably enough. There's still a little bit of an image there, but it doesn't really matter, because once my layout is done with my little letters and my black spray, it's going to show up just fine. Oh, before I forget, the other day when I did this transfer, this freezer paper transfer, remember, when you're doing that, you've got to sand this thing down smooth. If you don't have a smooth sand on your board, then you're not going to get a good transfer. I think I sanded this down to 220 with my little orbital sander, and it really helps, and actually is even critical to sand it smooth. Otherwise, this transfer just doesn't work very well. But anyway, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw some lines. The letters that I'm going to use are my little half-inch, these are half-inch Clarendon, I believe. These are the letters that I'm going to use on here. So I've just got to draw a line, and I think that should be just about right. I want to try and make sure that it's pretty much square to everything else. And then here, I want my line about, that looks pretty square. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to go ahead and get these letters laid out, and then I'll mask it off and come back and we'll spray it. Okay, so like I mentioned, I masked everything off, and I actually taped this stuff down, these cardboard pieces down, because I don't want to take any chance that I get any of this black spray anywhere but exactly where I want it. So we're just going to spray this real quick, being really careful because these are just half-inch letters, and it looks like this can is just about empty. Might be able to make this work. It's really almost empty. Last little spray, and the wind is starting to pick up, so if the sound, I'll try and speak up a little bit. If the sound is bad, guys, I apologize. The wind's starting to pick up out here on the patio. Anyway, all right, so I'm going to let that dry, and we'll come back and get to carving. Okay, guys, so here is what we've got. I've got all the layout done. I'm ready to start carving. And as always, I always keep a real printout of what I want my layout to be in case some lines get kind of fuzzy and all that. And I'm going to start with those little letters down in the corner. Those I think are going to be the toughest. And I'm using my SC50 because they really, some of them get really, really close together. So we'll come right back and we'll get to carving on those letters. Okay guys, so we got this part done, and because now Vicky is helping me film, I think I lost like the last couple numbers on here, but you basically got the idea. So now what I've done is I've taken the SC50 bit out and I put in our profile bit, and the next hardest thing I think are going to be these little 1/2-inch letters. I'm going to get those done, then we'll go up to the top and work on Brody and work our way down. So everything here is going to be inset. So here we go. Oh, I got to put my cheaters on. Hang on. Ah, that's better. Here we go. Okay, I'm just going to give you my insights so far of carving this white poplar. I love it so far. You can see it's really dusty, so it doesn't, and again, these are very small letters, but it carves the chip The dust carves really well. I don't have really any issues. I think down here I had one little issue with a little bit of a grain, and over here in the corner it started to get a little bit squirrely on me, but basically so far I'm super happy with it. So we'll be right back. All right, so we got those little letters done. They cut really well. I'm going to go ahead. I think I'm going to use the profile bit on this whole sign, honestly, other than the SC50 down here. I just like the way the profile bit is cutting this material. So I'm going to go ahead and work on this Brody up here. Here we go. So again, that cut really well. I didn't really have any problems with it. I'm cutting rather deep, but I really I like the way that profile bit is cutting that. So we'll come right back and we'll get into the rest of this. So you guys notice that on these straight lines here, I drew straight lines. You know what I'm trying to say there. Anyway, the H, I went ahead when I first looked at it, was like, well, the print is way off or something. But the more I looked at my little, somebody's trying to text me. The more I looked at my my layout on it, the H is definitely up above the rest of the line. So it's like quite a capital, but it's definitely taller. So I went ahead and I was going to shorten it and make it even with the rest of the letters, but I went ahead and made it. The more I looked at the layout, the more I thought, well, that looks kind of cool. I'll go ahead and make it stick up above. And then the same thing on the Y. The Y here actually is up above the rest of the print. A lot of times when you're looking at artwork like this, guys, you have to just kind of figure out, especially if you blow it up, you have to kind of figure out which way you want it to look best. So I went ahead and extended the Y up above the top of the rest of the letters as well. So, oh, yeah. Now what I have to do is put the 60-degree bit in, and I got to go in and take out these things in the pause. I want all this to be gone. So I want to go out and go in with a 60. I would normally use the 90 for that, but these are pretty tight spaces, so the 60 will be a little bit narrower, and I'll go ahead and put that in, and then we'll come back and we'll take that stuff out. Alright guys, all the carving is done. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to brush this thing out real good, blow it out. I'm going to mask all this off. I'm going to use the primer again to spray it. I'll just go ahead and do that off camera. Then when we come back, we'll sand it off and see what it looks like. Hey guys, you know what? I really apologize, but we were running way long on this video. So that's it for today. I promise on Wednesday's video it'll be completely finished. The spraying, the sanding, the putting the finish on. So that'll happen on Wednesday's video. That is about it. I hope you guys like this. Thanks again for watching. We love you all. If you haven't subscribed, we'd love for you to. If you have any questions at all, please email me directly, eric@makerwoodsign.com. And we will see you guys on Wednesday. We'll get this thing finished up.